I wanted to start this video by showing you how the Endura 4 can handle such a task. Making wood shavings out of this very dry piece of wood. And also I wanted to show you that whenever I use the Endura for such tasks, I prefer to use it with gloves, be it working gloves like these are or just thick mittens. And that is because of the handle. This handle is very narrow and very thin. Now I'm sure most people know the Endura model. Mine has a VG10 steel blade and this nice blue FRN handle. I have to be honest, and I have to tell you that I did not always use gloves in working with this knife. I tested this knife out a lot without gloves, and I just shied away from doing heavier tasks with it because of this reason, because of the handle. It is uncomfortable if you're trying to cut through very thick cardboard or make wood shavings. Now, in my eyes, this is an everyday carry knife, and as such it will have to do everyday tasks. And as long as you don't have to keep cutting through very thick cardboard, thick pieces of plastic, make wood shavings the whole day, this is an excellent knife to have on your person every day, all day. And that is for a few reasons. First of all, it is a light knife. I think it weighs about 100 plus grams, not very much, 110, 120. I'm not sure exactly how much, but you don't really feel it in your pocket. The pocket clip design is very good. It helps you get the knife in your pocket very quickly, helps you retrieve it very fast because a lot of it does stick out. And while I do prefer deep carry pocket clips, I must say I'm very happy with this one. You can also change the side on which you carry the pocket clip, and also change the fact that you can carry it tip up or tip down. Now, like I said, I like to work with gloves when I'm working with such a thin handle. And because it has this nice spider hole and it is a lockback design, you can close it one-handed and open it one-handed with no problems. So even if you decide to do heavier tasks with it, with a pair of gloves, you have no problem using this knife. I got this knife mid-October last year. I got it used. A few years ago, I had a Delica 4. Most of you might know the Delica 4 is a bit smaller than this one. Also, mine had a saber ground blade. And I thought about it, and I asked myself, what was it? Was it the size of the knife, or was it the grind of the blade that kept me from working more with the Delica 4? So I decided to eliminate both, and I got myself a full flat ground Endura 4. Now, I got it used, and its previous owner put a convex edge on it that was a bit too steep for me. I wanted to put a sharpening choil in the blade anyway, so I also modified the edge angle to 20-degree per side edge angle. And those of you who have been watching some of my videos know that that is the edge angle at which I keep most of my folders at. The reason behind it is very simple. With a 20-degree per side edge angle, I found that most steels will not take damage. And also that is the edge angle which allows me to work with the knife, be it as an EDC knife or as a knife for out here in the woods where I need to cut some wood shavings or make some notches. Like I said, most steels will not take damage, and it will not take that much effort to cut through things. I got the Endura 4 also for a different reason. I wanted to compare my Falcon Even F1, which is also VG10, with the VG10 that Spyderco has. And I'm guessing the steel is basically the same, only the heat treatment differs. Now, I've had some problems with my F1. I've had microchips all along the blade. And I wanted to see if that was the case for the Endura as well. After 3 weeks of not sharpening either knife and working with them basically as much as I could, I found that the Spyderco Endura had no edge damage. And as such, after those 3 weeks were done and I drew my conclusions and I made that video, I went home and I stropped both knives. And I was a bit surprised when I found that I could strop this one back to razor sharp. Another plus point, another reason for me to like it. Now, as I said, the handle is a bit narrow and a bit thin. So working with it without a glove, if you have to do really hard cuts, and a lot of them, will be a bit uncomfortable. But as an EDC knife, I don't see that happening. I don't see you needing to cut cardboard for half an hour or making wood shavings. If you take this as a camping knife, I bet you can have a fixed blade with you, which is always a good idea. I always keep a folder in my pocket and I keep a fixed blade at my side, or as the case of the F1 is, around my neck whenever I'm out here. And I will pull out this folder and use it for small tasks, removing bark or something like that, just because it's sometimes faster to pull out the folder in your pocket. But for harder tasks, I do recommend a glove. That's just the way it is. Now, if you're working with this and making your food and your hands get wet, greasy, this bidirectional texturing will really help. I didn't come in any occasion where I said, whoa, this is not grippy enough. It is very grippy. It is very good. Also, if you ever need to chop something on a chopping board, because chopping wood with this knife is not really the best idea since it does not have the necessary weight, you can, because you have these nice grooves that will lock your hand in place. And if you need to chop a piece of wood, they will do that as well. And so will the pocket clip. I like the shape of the pocket clip, and I like the fact that it's painted. I like to see the paint wear away, but I would also really like if it would be a different sort of paint that wouldn't wear off so quick. As it stands, this knife is a light blue color. It sticks out of the pocket this much, so people will see it anyway, regardless whether it has a blackened clip or not. But that would be a cool thing to have. I like the lockback design. Unfortunately, it does move when you cut stuff. With time, I've come to accept that. One thing that I do not understand, and this might be a point of criticism towards Spyderco, is comparing this knife with the Caracara. Now, the Caracara has a nice choil here, similar to what the Sage has. When you open the blade, there's a nice finger choil here. You can put your finger very comfortably and choke up on the blade. Not that I would do that very much, but because it's not here, I do miss it a bit. And because they do it on the Caracara, my question is, why don't they do it on the Endura? Because to me, that would make sense. One thing I do like, that I also mentioned, is the fact that you can close this one-handed. You can just swing the blade on your forefinger and then very comfortably close it one-handed, open it one-handed, with or without gloves. The pocket clip you can put on either side, tip up, tip down. So really, no complaints there all around. Every once in a while, I do have to tighten the pivot. Now, a lot of people put Loctite on their pivots. Some use Teflon tape. I chose to do neither. I always have my on-the-go sharpening kit, and if I feel the need to readjust the pivot screw, I can do it. All you need for this knife are two Torxes, a number 6 and a number 8, and you can take the knife apart. And to that I have to say, I never have taken this knife apart. I have never cleaned it out thoroughly. All I did was hold it underwater, shake it off, and let it dry, and I have never seen rust spots anywhere. I really like the knife. I have been carrying it for, 3.5, 4 months, almost every day, whether it was in the city, on a short hike, or out here. It is fun to play with. I don't flick it out that much. I open it regularly, and I do like the action of it. So if you have any questions about the Spyderco Endura, just ask me in the comments section. I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd like to thank you for watching, and as always, I wish you all a great day.